Hey, what's up, guys? This is Fular with another video. Shout out to the whole LDBC. I just want to kind of like transition from professional sports to some amateur sports, and I wanted to talk about, recently Cuba, they won the World Boxing Tournament. And what that tournament is it's still an amateur tournament, but they kind of do it in a professional way, meaning that they don't wear their headgear. The fights look professional, stare downs and all of that and everything like that. They still have that, you know. The one thing is about it, they still go off of that amateur point system. That's what they still do with it. And again, Cuba was victorious, and they've been victorious for a couple of years now in that World Championship of Boxing tournament. And that's not by mistake. And the reason why it's not by mistake is because when you go to Cuba, you will find that despite not having a lot, despite obvious economic problems, not by their doing, and despite all the other setbacks, they still produce the goods in different sports. The sport can be track and field, the sport could be wrestling, and of course the other sport is amateur boxing. And the reason why that is because if you ever been to Cuba, which I have because I have a sister who studies medicine there, and Cubans and Africans have a shared history together through revolutionary struggle, among other things. You will see that in the boxing gyms, their main focus is fundamentals. How to throw a punch. The technique that goes into throwing a punch. The very basic, the very minor details is what the Cuban system is about. And because of that, I think they have the success that they have in the amateur rankings. Because the fighters are disciplined. The fighters are especially defensively responsible. And they just know how to do things they know how to choose their aggressiveness, like when to be aggressive, basically. And one thing I want to say about the Cuban amateur system is that some of the amateurs it has produced, I have no doubt could have made it into the pro ranks after the small adjustment period. One of them being Teofilo Stevenson, another one being Andres Aldama, another one being Felix Savon, just to throw a couple of names out there. But because of their love for the country, they were so convinced that it was better to just do it for the country rather than do it for a prize. But when you go into the later generation of Cuban fighters and the time with just the economic problems of Cuba, prize fighting becomes more appealing to them. So you have a lot of more Cubans who defect and go fight elsewhere. That's just how it works, basically. Because if the country could take if the country could take like professional boxing, if there was investments to be made for professional boxing, then I don't think they would like take the risk in leaving. But because that's not the case, they go ahead and leave and defect, you know. And when they do that, you find mixed success. I think the reason why you find mixed success is, number one, they're coming from a place where they literally just fought for like really little to nothing, you know. They fought basically for the pride of the country. Now, once they become prize fighters, you flash money in front of their face. You know, sometimes you flash 25,000 in front of their face, and that's the most money they've seen in their life, without them knowing that they're actually getting done dirty. But they would still do it anyway, you know. So, you know, the problem is when the Cubans come over here with the boxing, they don't do the business side of things, you know, because they're coming from such a dire situation that, you know, basically anything is better, you know, than what they had over there. And then another issue, this is one of the main problems. The Cuban style is so sound, so responsible, so disciplined, that a lot of fans are put off by it. You know, a lot of fans don't like to see like the slick counter puncher, fundamental boxer who does things selectively. That's another issue that and another reason why the Cuban fighters are, you know, giving the short end of the stick basically when they come prize fight over in America. Now, another thing too, with that style, there's a hidden wisdom behind it. You know, mind you, when they come over and prize fight in America, that prize fighting money is going to a lot of relatives, a lot of extended family in Cuba. You know, that's where that money is going. So, with that being said, they gotta preserve their bodies. You know, and so you look at guys like, for example, Arizona Lara. You look at guys like Luis Ortiz. You look at guys like, you know, Regan Diaz. These guys are like in their like mid to late 30s, and because the age thing, like we know that, you know, Cubans can exaggerate on age and stuff like that. They could be even older, you know, but they're still fresh though. Like, I mean, Luis Ortiz, like, even right now, guys don't want to fight Luis Ortiz, you know? And I'm actually surprised at that. Like, you know, I'll name a few guys. Everybody knows Dillian White and Anthony Joshua do not want to fight Luis Ortiz. And, you know, they're the younger guys, but they don't want no parts of him. So, with that being said, you know, I know a couple of other Cuban fighters who have defected. Some of them are fighting in Europe right now and will make their way to the United States. You know, I know that, you know, from my contacts with them over there, from my sister studying medicine and whatnot, that, you know, many others plan to defect because the simple fact that professional boxing is not like, it can't really happen over there right now. The money can't come in because of the blockade, you know. But you know, in the future, I may do videos like this, like from time to time, talking about like amateur boxing and you know, just give a little bit of history about certain things. And you know, I'll probably start to vlog soon. And so when I go back to Cuba, I'll vlog it so you guys can see for yourself how it goes down there. That's all I got for now. I'm off to the next one. Java.